So Eliza's back. I don't know why Eliza's back, okay? Because she's not exactly scot-free yet, not completely out of the woods. I think your boy might have found something pretty exclusive that we'll take a look at the end of the video. Obviously, if you just want to, see what I found there, you can go all the way to the end, but I won't spoil anything. It's slightly spoiled by the title, but let's not jump the gun because we have so much good to discuss and none of it comes out of Eliza. A lot of it comes in Eliza, pause. But as for her good work that she's doing, that clarion call of the trad cucks that are out there, oh, she does good work, you can't criticize her. Yeah, I don't think so, man. Because she's dragging down. I don't know if that's necessarily the best representation of what's going on right now. It's more or less the people that are choosing to just chase her down this hole of irrelevancy. The only thing that is unclear as to why they're hitching their wagon to this failure, but we'll get to them very shortly. First and foremost, why is she back? What is she saying? And what is she actually doing out here? Well, once again, just kind of doing the same old jam, because it hasn't really failed her beforehand. And just, again, trying to attach herself to somebody else's work and claim victory because of it. It's something that she really does like to do. Like, in her bio, human trafficking survivor advocate. You can listen to my podcast that I haven't made a new episode of since, when did that one go up? April 19th, 2022. She does absolutely nothing except for be on social media and take credit for other people's work. I track the CSE problem on Twitter for years. Child sexual exploitation content. That's what CSE means. In my wildest dreams, I thought that they could have maybe consistently removed 57,000 child exploitation profiles a month. That seems like a lot of profiles. And if the problem was that big, wouldn't you think somebody who's just a little bit more than just a clout chaser? Because the tell is in the first sentence right there, if you couldn't quite figure that out. But come back to that in a second after we read through the rest of the statement. But if it was that big, 57,000 profiles on one site per month, if they could do that consistently, month after month, there's a big problem. Twitter removing 404,000 child sexual exploitation profiles in January 2023 is a miracle. That's a lot. That 400,000 accounts? After you also took credit for what Elon Musk did and the other accounts that were actually reporting on Twitter's board, I just find that very interesting. Eventually, the number will go down as bad actors post less content and as they catch more. Platform cannot stop evil in the world. The goal there would be to see high removal at first as they clear the platform out of CSE. Eventually, the number will plateau, then diminish. Yes, that's how this stuff would happen. Those are the people who do the thing. Would know a little bit better than an outside observer. I'm extremely happy with the progress they have made. English words don't do it justice. Well, you can try. It's not like you're busy doing anything else. You could come up with a response, but I'm just so overwhelmed with love and stuff. Thank you is all I can really say. But there was some dashing young chap deciding to respond to this. He went on to say, I tracked profiles that were deleting is equivalent to I watched the Super Bowl, so send me a championship ring. You still censored and suppressed legal and lawful voices, wrapping yourself in tradcon talking points and pundits doesn't absolve you. And who was that? Oh, that was me. And then I decided to post her her G girl's little profile. Oh, how adorable. Oh, but what is she alluding to? Well, she reposted something else, some work that other people did and tried to take credit for that. And I wanted to know, it's like, okay, there's 400,000 accounts that are on the platform that just could get nuked like that in January. After there was so much removal back in November and in December, there's still that many that's out there. Because, yeah, you take a look at that. You can run it back to November, December, and then in January it spikes up a little more than that. Okay, maybe there were that many accounts that were out there beforehand spreading this type of stuff. Or are they just snatching up everybody? Well, we're moving faster than ever to make Twitter safer and keep child sexual exploitation material off our platform. Here's our update on that work. Our recent approach is more aggressive. put a pin in that. In what we're proactively and severely limiting the reach of any content that we detect may contain CSE material. This includes moving swiftly to remove the content and suspend bad actors involved. What does that necessarily mean? And this isn't me sticking up for people that are posting all of this type of reprehensible material. Absolutely not. Do not get that twisted at all. There's some tells on that. And especially as warped as certain policies can get, where you're just banning some people based on things that could be tangentially interpreted to be objectionable material. Case in point, how many people were suspended because they were posting screenshots of publicly available information? I'm just wondering, were those also bad faith actors? Or were they adhering to the rules, but subsequently pissing somebody off because they were adhering to those rules? So you needed to adjust it a little bit. In January, we suspended roughly 404,000 accounts that created, distributed, or engaged with this content, which represents a 112% increase in CSE suspensions since November. Our goal is to reduce both the amount and reach of CSE material. Not only are we detecting more bad actors faster, we're building new defenses that proactively reduce the discoverability of tweets that contain this type of content. Such measures that we recently implemented was reduce the number of successful searches for known CSE patterns by over 99% since December. We continue to share updates in our efforts going forward. So yeah, if Twitter is sticking to the policy that they have laid out there, where it's anybody who's disseminating and distributing as well as engaging in this type of content, and you're getting rid of that, that's wonderful and fantastic. It's just you've shown recently that you can't necessarily stay all that true to your own guidelines, and you're willing to just kind of maneuver and work around in order to placate some people for unknown reasons, really. And the love affair between Eliza Bleu and Twitter is well established and well known, and if you need a refresher course on that, there's plenty of videos on a lot of people's channels, as well as a handy dandy playlist on my own where you can click through on. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be very easy to find on there, and then on Rumble, well, you can just scroll back and go a little while. And as for Odyssey, I don't know who's still over there, but God bless you if you're watching over there on that platform. So this wouldn't be much of an update if Eliza came back, once again took credit for other people's work, and everybody's posting snarky replies into her tweets, okay? This would eventually die out. But she's also taking down one of the biggest quote-unquote independent journalists that's out there right now, the entire structure of it. First and foremost, we'll go with the booker here for a second. Cassandra Fairbanks, old yogurt mouth. Last night, or the night before, she decided to protect her tweets, just like Eliza. She's been one of Eliza's most vocal supporters, saying that Eliza does good work, and you shouldn't be so critical of her. It doesn't matter what she did in her past, it's fine now. I always found that a little bit unsettling, because Cassandra Fairbanks, well, she's just kind of unsettling herself, and I don't really trust anybody who seems to have one or two things to hide. And I don't know much about her past or anything like that, and I unfortunately, because for this video right here, I did about 2 hours of research on it. 2 hours of research, and I don't expect anybody to care or have any sympathy for that. And you know what, hey, I'm glad that I was very thorough in my examination. Unfortunately, a little too thorough in a couple of such cases, but I've shielded everybody's eyes from that. But just wondering as to Cassandra's background, because it seems to be kind of a common through line when it comes to this type of stuff. Birds of a feather really do flock together. And the Timcast organization getting in bed with Eliza Bleu really does make something, or rather prove a statement that I say a lot ring even more true. Ever get into business with guys or individuals or entities that are deficient in two things: money and women, because they will make terrible decisions in the service of trying to placate either at the drop of a hat and end up costing you. So, thanks to Adam Kriegler a little while ago dropping a nuclear bomb that Tim Pool's inability to maintain a personal and professional boundary between him and female employees, well, it really just kind of solidifies this type of stuff. He likes to surround himself with Let's just call it exactly what it is. Just a bunch of dorks. Okay, do you see that rogues gallery that's around that stupid show? Holy man. That's another one of those axioms. If you are the summation of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. If you spend your time around 5 millionaires, chances are you will become the 6th. If you surround yourself with 5 dorks, chances are you will be the 6th. Or we can replace dorks with simps or cucks in this situation, and well, really does make sense, all of his hiring practices, doesn't it? So anyways, back to Cassandra here for a second, okay? She has something to hide. She gets awfully defensive about it, and she loves to project her insecurity about these certain things. No, I always delete my tweets. Once or twice a week, I purge them all, and only people going through old tweets are people who want to attack you. Well, if you don't have anything objectionable from your past, and I understand that the different standard just kind of changes throughout the years, but if you don't give a care to what people have to say about you, really doesn't matter what you tweeted back in the cut, and then just continuing to delete your tweets, especially in a time of crisis, when you believe that protecting your tweets and then just going through and deleting how many of them? 420, nice, 350, but then at the same time tweeting like a little schoolgirl. It's not exactly the best look that's out there. And then add that on top of this screen cap that is out there, okay? I am not silent. I think questions are valid and fair. Posting someone's ass to humiliate them isn't a question. It's sexual harassment. This is in regards to Eliza, her good friend, her very good friend, having the World Star Hip Hop video where everything kicked off on this one, posting their ass, and it's like, it's publicly available. Would you be more satisfied if it was in GIF form? No? It looks a little bit better. You can't quite see the cellulite in those pictures, and no amount of baby voice whining changes that. Already just launching into the ad hominems. So that's adorable. Also, you have to be a literal tard to trash someone for hours and expect them to book you. And then that also just kind of very nicely carries on into the next part of this video. But first and foremost, why is she sticking up so much? Because all of the literal quote-unquote trashing is theoretically over Eliza Bleu and is some sort of a personal vendetta. Everybody's just mocking Eliza for being just kind of a floozy in her past. Is that about the nicest way we can say that? Yeah, that sounds about right. Mostly because, well, good old Cassandra, yeah, she might have a similar past. But we'll get to that in a second because, oh boy, the quartering, he's been going nuclear lately, hasn't he? If you haven't been paying attention, then this might be news to you. Normally, pretty good friends, but then all of a sudden, he posts this picture. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? Posting the Jack Murphy beard on his bald head. Oh, Lord. Well, what presaged this? Tim just blocking the quartering, seemingly out of nowhere, and then just continuing to grift post afterwards, not address the situation that has taken over social media, that is permeating every single commentary sphere right now. You don't want to talk about it at all. That's fine. You just want to continue to trad grift that stupid Chinese balloon. I did one video on it. That's all I'm going to do about it. Outside of it never should have entered the borders. That's about as far as my take goes. But no. He wants to trudge up a whole bunch of old stories and not address the most relevant one. Because guess what? That generates money. And that's all. Thanks to what Adam Krigler said back in his video, his very long video laying everything out. Tim Pool is here exclusively 100% for the money. A lot of people like to accuse Fresh and Fit for doing that, but at least they have the common decency. Every single super chat that comes in gets shown on screen. For Tim Pool, he'll read 2 or 3 at the end of the show and then just go deuces, even though the dude makes... It's not a word of a lie, upwards, depending on the guest, and especially during the Steven Crowder stuff, $10,000, $20,000 per show with super chats on. And they don't really do anything. It's just more or less Tim Pool, just, Civil War posting over top of everybody else, over talking everything, until like a real Chad enters the room in the form of Steven Crowder, who can control that table, and everybody else just sits back because, well, they're just all tiny little brainlet manlets. sucks to suck, I guess. But yes, going back to what the quartering's talking about, and in reference to Tim Pool there, I don't like to do drama, okay? I don't need to address the Eliza Bleu, or even back at the end of, what was that, at the end of 2021 with Jack Murphy stuff, who was a regular who was there every Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever he said, or every other, whatever. He was a regular on the show, Jack Murphy. He was out there just also doing the same stuff. I do good work in the manosphere, brother. Even though you've been disconnected from everybody in that sphere, and your running nickname was the lumber cuck. Everybody knew about your history. That's why you were thrown out of the sphere. Everybody knew that you were a grifter. You had your seminal order, yo, brother, just pay me $4,000 and you can be a Giga Alpha Chad. And it's like, okay, great, wonderful, fantastic. Yeah, but you don't do anything. You say you do something. Sound very familiar? Seems to work their way into Tim Pool's inner circle. Just wild. But yeah, as the quartering details, unless it's Hassan Piker, does a specific pointed response video, multiple of them. Steven Crowder made how many thousands of dollars off of that drama? And then, yes, Candace Owens, having her on the show, doing multiple Daily Wire, Steven Crowder segments, videos, all of that stuff, and he gets prime monetization on all of that, which is good incentive for him. Other people, they just want to cover it for the sake of honesty and because they see just a very obvious interpretation of the facts, but whatever, you can continue to bounce around ideas because you're just such a smart guy sitting on that fence post. Cenk Uyghur, not too sure about that one, or Kanye West. Oh yeah, remember, yeah, you had everybody on there. Had Milo on the week before, then he had Milo and Nick Fuentes and Ye there. I did a video on that because I thought, hey, Tim Pool is just a terrible host. You know exactly what you could and couldn't talk about on the show, and well, you got pissy because Ye didn't want to stay on script. It's not like he's kind of known for doing that. What's Tim doing about all this stuff? Because the quartering's going nuclear on him, and most of the internet's just having a laugh at his inability to clear up any of these problems that are going on. He's just laughing in your face. You send all this money, guess what? We can have a nice studio green room. We're going to have a bar in there. It's going to be wonderful. Take a look at all the tasteful lighting. We got new glass that's on there. You can be able to take a look outside at the skate park, which every single penny that comes into Timcast, you know it goes right into the studio because Tim's an honest journalist, right? He talks about all the big stories and he just gives you the facts. Sure thing. But as Tree of Logic says one more time, shout her out from the last video that we did as well, all those super chats begging Tim Pool to cover Eliza Bleu scandal is being put to use. Tens of thousands of dollars donated in exchange for being ignored. Yep. Won't even talk about it, won't even address them, won't show them on screen at all. He'll just pick a couple to end the show, and if you're lucky enough, you might get some, interesting. Yeah. Oh, okay. Next one. Won't even read out dollar amounts. Might even get your name wrong. Doesn't even matter. It doesn't. He doesn't care. 40,000 viewers. 35 to 40,000 viewers a night. You are just another number that's out there. Hopefully you feel good. Oh, I'm supporting independent media by tuning into Tim Pool every night. Bro, it's just MSNBC online. Like, let's just stop it. It's a drama grift. And the grift is so good when you don't address something that directly concerns you. Come on, man. You made one video on Adam Krigler and you decided to cry about it. Like, just stop it, bro. You're really fleshing your credibility on this. And the way the guys respond to these 3 different monumental events that have happened within the past month and change, Andrew Tate situation, Steven Crowder Daily Wire situation, and this Eliza Bleu gimmick that is going on right now, that really tells me a quality of the man, the way that they answer any of those situations. And Tim Pool, he's pretty much failed on a vast majority of them. Aren't you pay pigs proud? The bald miniature Dom Daddy is using your money wisely. Well, and as Mikey has right there, couple of little improvements I would imagine are coming. You know, you could have at least a little bit of fun with a neon sign and the stripper pole that's in there, given the fact that we know exactly where he stands on this. And it's not like, I don't think that video, or I don't think that picture would be all too Photoshop, knowing her past a little bit. But as the quartering says here, and as we're going to dive a little bit deeper, and now that we got the drama out of the way, long enough, but did need covering. Why do so many conservative pundits / personalities have a history in porno? Isn't that very interesting? Aren't they supposed to be the, you should, sexual relations outside the confines of a traditional marriage is absolutely objectionable, that the degeneracy of the West is laid bare at the feet of the men that are making them turn into such sexual beings and objectifying them. Very interesting. Very interesting. I don't care, but it's worth looking into. Oh, I do. I do, because they're all just disingenuous grifters, man. Come on. You take a look at all of those porn stars made good, the ones that want to burn down the industry after they leave it. What, Mia Khalifa, Lana Rhoades. There's a couple of them that made it out all right on the other side that are branching out into different places. Or you could take a look at the other side of that equation. What do you got? Adriana Chechnik over on Twitch, the one who broke her ass. Literally. She's a big Twitch streamer. There's a couple of, there's girls who's getting their cheeks clapped and then catching a 7-day ban, only to come back and run back the same grift one more time in front of a much larger viewership. The degeneracy grift is only dwarfed by the morality grift. Whether you're a trad cuck trying to do right by the Lord, have him absolve all of your sins, and then hopefully somebody's going to come along and wife up these hoes. Or on the feminist side, where you just embrace it and you love your past, and don't worry, you can just go ahead and manifest the man of your dreams, girl. All of these conservative pundits sliding into my DMs, Jack Posobiec, begging me not to talk about it, using my female friends in the space as pawns against me. Fuck you. And once again, like, I just see this guy down there just making some really good points. Tradcons and feminists are two heads of the same coin. Welcome to the truth. Absolutely. He's a smart guy. You should go and follow him over on Twitter. He's got some spicy takes and some shit posts that are out there. But I want to go back to this Daily Beast article for a second, because we read over it back when it dropped a little while ago, at the end of last week at some point in time. There's something in here that's very interesting, because we branched off and talked about her different videos that are online, but this has kind of been brought up one more time, basically in the light of her G-Girls profile being spread across the internet, spread just like her legs. Just a little excerpt that's in here. Bleu also gave interviews about the video Vixen lifestyle. In 2016, Bleu, speaking in a markedly different voice, is that when she had on her black I was feeling so blessed. Then the one she used in earlier media appearances, and the one that she uses today, there we go, claimed that she rejected an offer to have sex with a client for $150,000. That's interesting. If I was posed with the exact same proposition, 150 grand? Yeah, I'd probably do it. It's a nice offer, but it's not me, Bleu said. Still, it appears Bleu may have engaged in some kind of sex work around this time. Oh no! No! In one interview, Bleu advertised her account in the now-defunct Camgirl website. Oh, we're going to get to that website very, very shortly, where men could pay money to talk to her. What? Oh my, and then all of a sudden, now you're going to be an advocate for the survivors of Andrew Tate. Oh, you love to see the hypocrisy on display. Around 2016, Wenzel claimed that's her friend from back in the day. Well, back in the day, they used to go to the My Chemical Romance shows. She's a couple years younger than this old broad. Wenzel claimed that Bleu asked her to join as an escort. Pause. An escort. Promising that Wenzel could make $500 a night. $500 a night. But she apparently refused, banging somebody for $150K. Stop the cap. An offer that stunned Wenzel and her husband. She was absolutely loving it, Wenzel said. She bragged about it, saying she was making so much money. Oh yeah, because we know how long she was in the business for, because if you haven't seen... Oh, now you do. Vote us best modeling website, Urban Model Awards, urbanmodelawards.com. All of the links, G-Girls. G-Girls site is under construction. Any of the other links that are out there, they seem to be down right now. I'm just wondering what exactly G-Girls is. I would show you their profile on Twitter, but... yeah, there's a lot of gaping holes that are on there, and if I scroll through that, that would be a speed run to get myself banned on this platform. I'm not trying to, and that would even be too haram for Rumble. I'm just saying, peruse at your own desire, but this is a picture that has been shared and making the rounds over the past couple of days, and I thought, there's probably something to this. So this is where I was spending most of my time doing all of my research, and, you know, don't get it twisted or anything like that. Not something that I was doing it gleefully. Porn is degenerate, but for the sake of completions, knowing the trajectory of the Jack Murphy story from about a year ago, that all crescendoed with a big porn expose, and I'm just thinking, when's it coming out, man? When's it coming out? So peek that date that's on there. Urban Model Awards 2015. Just about spoiled it there for a second. 2015. But then you got this post that's being shared. Oh, there's Eliza right there by Big GQ Gets. Go over to G Girls and vote for Eliza Knows, one of her known aliases, and go follow at Eliza Knows. Unfortunately, that profile no longer exists. But that was from March 16th, 2016. So she was trying to go back to back and a belly to belly on her nominations for Urban Model of the Year. Urban Model of the Year in 2016. It's funny because that profile, like I can show you just right here. Sorry, that page doesn't exist. Well, that's just too gosh darn bad. It sure would be a shame if there was another hidden Instagram profile of her putting herself out there all over the internet from back in, say, 2014 or something like that, on and around the time where she was claiming to be trafficked. Boy, that would sure be just a terrible type situation. As you can see, obviously, like, I don't know, is she claiming that our brother right there is holding her against her will? Seems to be enjoying that situation. I'm just saying, oh my god, see, it's just a blank background. Got her goofy little hair up in a bun, and obviously that she is taking these pictures under duress with that same skid mark from a couple of other videos that's out there. Oh my god. Oh, they're just treating her so badly they can't even give her a full shirt. I can barely look at that. Oh, and the only thing that they're giving her to eat is the only thing that's going to keep her alive and with sustenance is some sort of a latte and a vape pen. It's just atrocious, man. Oh, see, she has to get on all fours and crawl around for crumbs of food. See, at least in this picture right here, she's embarrassed about what she's done. She knows exactly what she's done. But guess what, guys? Peek the date on this stuff. Oh, September 7th, 2014. Outside of maybe being a little bit surprised, and outside of thinking that maybe nobody was ever going to find any of this stuff, I don't know. It's just all very, very interesting now, isn't it? Given the fact that she said way back in the day, her accounting of about 2014, okay, and her telling Blue living in her gangland apartment in 2013. No gangland or anything like that. She seems to be doing pretty well for herself. I don't necessarily think that those confines, that could very well be a hotel or something like that, but yes, okay. Saying that she was living in Chicago, and that is the Chicago flag right there, okay, that all makes very much sense. But then, does that look like gangland view that's out there in Chicago? I just find that very interesting. And desperate to leave her traffickers, contacted Eve's Angels. That's the Christian trafficking scam. Oh, I'm sorry, charity that was out there. That's definitely doing good work too. After discovering founder Annie Donwald through the YouTube video. In another recent tweet, Blue claimed that the group via Bible left at a strip club. The group soon spirited Blue away from the traffickers into a safe house 3 states away. In her account, Blue claims that she briefly returned to her traffickers after the escape, but eventually escaped the traffickers' clutches for good around 2014. Around 2014, when every single one of these pictures, late 2014, by the way, September 2014, that picture, October, all the way up until Christmas Eve, 2014, and then, going up for Urban Model of the Year in 2015, and then also running again in 2016. Her story continues to fall apart the more investigation you do, and I'm just waiting for somebody to find another known alias, and we end up getting some pillar biter pictures. I'm not looking forward to it. I just know that it's coming out very, very shortly. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.